Okay, we have a coach on today's call. I'm very, very excited because she had an absolutely amazing year. There she is, Emily Fauver. Let me give a few of your accomplishments for the year. So you joined Team Beachbody in November of 2013, so a little over 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And this past year was your first time achieving elite coach. So, and you went 0 to 60 in 2018. You are a superstar diamond coach. You've got 54 consecutive months in Success Club, and you're a 10 All-Star 10 legend. So now these are the stats that blew me away. She had an absolute incredible year of personal sponsorship. So Emily sponsored 418 coaches in 2018. She sponsored 27 lifetime diamonds and above, and she rank advanced 26 diamonds. So she is living currently on a military base in Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, Emily Fauver.
Good morning.
Good morning. Sick, absolutely sick stats. I mean, it's just very, very impressive. And so sometimes people say, wow, she came out of nowhere. Not true, not true. 5 years you've been into this and a little bit more, and you've been planting the seeds all these years. So I want to let everybody find out a little bit about who you are, so I'll get out of the way. But why don't you introduce yourself and why you became a coach?
Definitely. So I found coaching on accident. It was not a part of my plan at all. I'd actually graduated from Oregon State with a dream of being a sports reporter. That's what I wanted to do my whole life. And my coach had reached out to me about 4 times, and I never wanted anything to do with the business because I had this big dream to be a reporter. And so, we got married, my husband and I. He was my high school sweetheart right out of college. And if you didn't hear Sandy, we're also a military family. So that meant we were moving to our first base right after college. And there was a time frame, between that waiting season of graduating college and moving, that I really, wasn't really doing anything. I was unemployed. We were living with our parents. And, I decided to reach out to my coach because I wanted a discount on Shakeology. That was it. And I think that's what's kind of cool about my story is I didn't join Beachbody for coaching. I joined it for the products. And I wanted a discount, and you get a discount as military. And so I decided to sign up with her after she bugged me for 4 times, and the power of consistency. And I wanted nothing to do with the business. I said, this is it. I just want the discount. And I actually thought I was getting scammed the first time that I signed up. I immediately tried to return everything that, I just bought. And my husband's like, just give it a shot. Like, you just are doing it for the discount. Let's just see what happens. And so then it came time for us to move, which we were so excited about. We had never lived outside of Oregon together, and we were moving to Texas, which you would think would be tons of opportunity for an aspiring broadcaster. But we moved to this really tiny town, which at the time literally felt like I just had a Walmart, and there was zero opportunity for me to live out my dream. And I said, let's try this coaching thing. You have nothing else to do all day. And that's what I did. And I'm honest about my journey. And I say that's all I did really was try, because I was the coach that would hit Success Club. And that was it. I never saw the big success or anything for me. I thought it was just a little fun hobby. And that's all that I treated it as. And my husband was like, well, we're getting ready to move. We'd lived there for 2 years. He's like, we're getting ready to move. If you don't treat this as more than a hobby, then you're probably going to have to get a job when we move to our next base, which was Louisiana. And I didn't like that because I liked staying at home with my dog and, I'm an introvert. And so I decided to work a little harder, and in return got more result and was able to stay home by the time we moved to Louisiana.
It's so interesting how many people joined Beachbody to get a discount and have hit elite status. So it is possible, and it is interesting to think of people in a different level. So When you and I talked about what topic would you be talking about, it was pretty evident that it was about the proof that you got that our products work. So talk a little bit about why you're speaking on this topic today. And let me have you move back a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're cutting off your head a little bit, so I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So I always was a believer in Beachbody and the products. Honestly, I had done Insanity to get in shape for my wedding. And so I always loved the programs, but never went into them fully. I just either did the workout and not the meal plan, or vice versa. And so I saw so much power in 2018 from sticking to a program 100%. And that's why, I'm talking about it today, just because I went 3 years as a coach, and even years before that, before I was a coach, not using these programs to their fullest potential. And when I finally did, everything changed for me. And, people have asked, well, is it just sticking to a program that has gotten you this far? And that's a big part of it. But it was also, I think, the consistency leading up to that, showing up every single day. And my coach has taught me so much, but one of the biggest things she's taught me is to share your story and, be present on social media and share your journey. But remember, Beachbody is only a part of your story, not the whole story. And so that's why I found it so important to share everything. And, I did that, but I didn't get as vulnerable as I did in 2018 about my journey. And there's so much, but I don't know, Sandy, if you want me to go into it yet, but.
I think you're going to get into it later, but I want to talk about your personal struggles and how that's shaped who you are. I mean, you do have, you had struggles early on in life, but how has that helped you and shaped who you are? For sure.
So completely honest, I was someone that was embarrassed about my past and what I had been through for a long time. Long story short, I was adopted. I was in the foster system and then adopted. And then, I went through a lot in my life and I never wanted to talk about it. And then, in 2017, I experienced 4 miscarriages. And I just had this moment after my first miscarriage that I sat there and thought, I just felt so alone. And I thought to myself, if I feel this alone, how many other people are feeling alone as well? And this is what makes me relatable to people, not my, being perfect and showing up perfect and smiley all the time on social media, but what I've actually been through. And so that's when I decided to dig deeper and share more of my life and not just the pretty stuff and the fancy stuff, because that's not what people related to. And so I think when I really realized how powerful that was, I have people fill out a form when they want to join me. And I think a lot of us do. And I always ask, what makes you why do you want me to be your coach? And 9 times out of 10, it's always, I relate to your story. It's not you lost 20 pounds or your fitness journey. It's always, I've had a miscarriage too. I'm going through infertility. I'm a foster mom. It's something that has nothing to do with fitness. And I think that is just so cool because it just shows that they're coming to me for something other than fitness and more about my story.
Okay, so let's get to the meat of the call, and that was about your turning point with Beachbody when you found 80-Day Obsession. So talk about your journey with that program.
Okay, so like I said, I was a coach for 3 years before I ever stuck to a program, but having the year that I did in 2017, I knew I needed something that would change everything. And at the time, I didn't know it would be a program. I was going through depression and I was struggling to get out of bed every day. And I was praying for something to come in and save me and give me a reason for my life because I was just devastated. If you've been through that, you know. And so when I heard about 80-Day, I just felt like it was the program that was going to do it for me. I had been a coach. I'd seen so many programs. We have amazing programs, but I knew that I needed to do something to get my mind off of all of everything that happened in 2017. And I needed more, than a month. I needed 3 months to heal, if not longer. And that's exactly what 80-Day looked at like to me when I first heard about it. And so in that moment, when I heard about the program, I'll never forget it. I was in my bedroom and I said to myself, I will go into this program 100%. all in no matter what life throws at me the next 3 months. I was determined to stick to the meal plan and the workouts and never miss one for the first time in 3 years. And, we had trips planned, trips to Disney World, New Orleans, fertility treatments, so many things that could have, been an excuse or a reason to put it on pause or not do it that day. But I said, no matter what. And I told my husband and my sister and, my best friend, my plan. And there was like no turning back after that.
Stand up for a second and show everybody what's going on. Yes, so we will get to that in the story, but I mean, I think that people are going to think, well, do you have to have that story in order to be successful as a coach? And I think that you were just sharing something very real and you were believing in it. So tell me how your belief in the program and in the process of finishing a program changed during those 80 days.
Wow. So I think it's so crazy because when I became a coach and when I did my first program, I thought, oh, these programs can get me in shape or, help me lose a little bit of weight. But I think what has changed the most since sticking to a program 100%, I've not only realized what it can do for your body, but I realized what it can do for your mental state. It can change your whole entire life. It can take you for me personally, out of depression. And I just thought it was so cool that one program can have that much power, not just to help you lose the inches or the weight, but literally take you out of some of the darkest times of your life. And like I said, 80 Day I had to show up at the same time every day for that workout. And that is what got me out of bed in the morning. So
I wanted you to talk about why the completion of a program is so important, but I want you to also talk about how it adds credibility to your story.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say is that if anything, it adds credibility to your story and your journey. And, people want to see that you have completed these programs, not some random person that they don't know. And so I always tell my coaches, how do you expect, your challengers or your coaches to finish a program if you can't do it yourself? It starts with you, and it starts with us showing people what is possible with these programs. And if we can't do it, we can't expect others.
So in the beginning, I shared, your Success Club points and consistency in Success Club, and we get hung up sometimes on points over people. And so I wanted to share with this audience how your mindset changed. Because 5.5 years you've been coaching, but only in 2018 did you just like catapult, and help more people than you had ever before. So talk about your mindset and how you moved away from the whole points, over people.
Yeah. So when I honestly saw a program change my whole life, I wanted the whole world to know. Like I wanted to shout it from the rooftops. It made me emotional thinking about what it could do for people. And so I stopped looking so much at points and Success Club and all of that. And honestly, at that time, I was barely even checking my paychecks because I just saw people for the first time. And I saw that these people that were broken or that had been through something so hard like I had. And I felt like it was my duty to give them this gift, is the way I like to put it, give them this gift and let it change their life. And I stopped seeing, like I said, as a sale. And I thought, I have the world's greatest gift at my fingertips, and I want the whole world to know. So if someone says no to me, that's fine. I'm just going to continue to show them what amazing gift this is. And it's my job to do that. And I stopped getting so upset about the no's or getting ghosted because I knew what I had to offer. But it also, I had to see what a program could do to its full potential to see what kind of gift that really was. So I really just changed my mindset and from like selling a program to offering a gift, really.
Okay, so we know it wasn't just you sharing your story and you completing a program. There was also something you mentioned to me that was you teach people to start coaching from day one. So take us through the process of how you do that.
Yeah, so this was a game changer for me in 2018 for sure. I started 80 Day 21 pounds heavier, not necessarily than I am now, because who knows, but by day one of my journey, I posted a picture and I said, this is me. I was not confident in that photo at all, but I was confident in the fact that I was not going to show up 80 days from then looking the same. And so it was kind of just like my like, hey, watch me kind of thing. And I saw so much come from me showing up every single day on social media through that 80-day process, showing up while, you know, my family ate beignets in New Orleans and I was chomping on carrots, or, you know, at Disney World, waking up before my family to work out while they were sound asleep at 5 a.m. And there's so much power in that I don't want anyone to think that they have to wait to get their transformation to be a successful coach, because I'm a firm believer that people relate to the journey more than they relate to the destination, because I'm proof of that. And so my process for that is I mean, honestly, I get objection. People come to me all the time. They're like, I don't want to do that. I want to wait. And what I always say is, what if I would have disappeared off of Instagram or Facebook for 80 days and showed up and just showed you my results? You probably wouldn't be messaging me right now. And they always agree. And so when they sign up as a coach with me that day, some still don't worry. But when they do, I plug them into the same training I would plug a coach in that wants to work the business and run. I tell them they can take it as fast or slow as they want. I have a 15-day video series I made, just teaching them about inviting and objections and all of that. I add them to my team pages so they can see the community that there is besides just the fitness community. And then I also add them to a tech strand of just a small group of girls on the same journey as them, so they feel supported and it's not so scary. And, you know, that way they're just seeing success right out of the gate because I'm showing them how.
Awesome. You're doing great. I want you to take a breath too.
It's a lot harder to breathe these days.
I know, right? So I think that from what you're sharing, you're able to inspire people to, you know, finish a program, because you're not just showing your end result, you're showing the whole journey. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to How I Built This, and there's always this question about how much of your success is based on luck or hard work or showing up. And so that was something I wanted to ask you. How much is it just luck or showing up?
Well, I feel like if it was luck, it would have happened a lot sooner for me than year 3 or 4, whatever it was. And, you know, I, no matter what, showed up for 3 years, whether I was getting tons of people or I was getting ghosted or whatever. I showed up and shared my story because that's what I was told to do from my coach. She was really good about letting me know that it will pay off over time. So luck, I don't think, is a thing with this business, because people, like, they see consistency. It's, you know, they see someone through your results or the business or whatever, they see it come to life in front of their eyes if you're consistent. And so I think it's just really, you know, giving people what they want and showing up every single day, even if you don't feel like it, because they're watching, even if they're not giving you the likes or the comments, people are still watching.
So you said to me, and I think that you took this from someone else, but it is a great quote, and it is that your business is where it deserves to be. So why does that resonate so much with you?
I wish I remembered. I feel like I know who said it to me, but I don't want to say the wrong person. But it just always stuck with me, because I went 3 years, and my quote is, if you kind of sort of try, you kind of sort of get results. And that's what I was doing for 3 years. And I had this talk with myself at the end of 2017, my end of year 3 for me, where I said, Emily, 365 days just went by, and you could have done so much with it, or you could have done nothing at all. And at that time, to be brutally honest, I felt like I had done nothing at all with those 365 days I was given. I have the same 365 days as the top coach, you know, as someone, the millionaire in the business. We all have the same 365 days. And so I had a talk with myself, and I said, I do not want to feel the same way in December of 2018. I want to to end the year knowing that I gave everything I possibly could to this business and worked to my max potential so that I did not feel the way I felt in December of 2017. And that's when in 2018, my motto was, and I have wrote it down everywhere. I had it in my office. It was, don't let them work harder than you. Anytime I would rather stay up and, watch TV or, go hang out with friends, I thought about someone out there, is working harder than I am. We all have the same amount of time in the day. Some people might have more followers than you, more money, more time, but that does not give anyone the excuse to work harder than you. And that's what I had to realize that, as someone said it this year on our team, and one of our team calls that, ask yourself, if you want to be an elite coach or a top 10 coach, would an elite coach miss team calls? Would an elite coach disappear on social media? Would an elite coach not do a program? You have to basically act like what you want already and ask yourself those things.
That is such sound advice, and it shows why 2018 was your year. I mean, you really worked hard and you gave it all you got. So congratulations for an incredible year. I want to do the final question, which is really about personal fulfillment. So as part of the close of the call, why don't you share what coaching has meant to you and how it has personally fulfilled your life?
Well, there's a lot that it's done for me. And I mean, to be honest, there was a lot it did for me before I had my incredible 2018. But I feel like if anything, it's been super rewarding to just see what the power of, me sticking to a program could do and change, other people's lives. I was a coach for 3 years and I felt like I maybe changed a few people's lives that I knew about, but it wasn't until 2018 where I just saw so many people's lives change, with the programs or the business. And that was the most rewarding thing in the world to me. And I didn't realize what a ripple effect it would cause either. There was, I was helping them and then they saw no other choice but to help people do the same thing, that, give the same gift that I gave them. And that was just the most awesome thing to witness. Not to mention, I was a huge introvert before Beachbody. I would never honestly want to leave my house and I'm still an introvert, but I would never want to travel, do anything. And, Beachbody's got me out of my comfort zone. It's taught me that, it's okay to leave your house and go on trips. And I've left and gone on so many vacations, places I would never go if it weren't for Beachbody. And, it's taught me that there's people out there that need your help, and it's up to you and your story to show them the way. And it's just been the coolest thing to see that someone like me, so shy and introverted, could make such an impact.
I'm so glad we have you on the call because people just don't know who you are. They see a picture and they just make assumptions and they don't know how hard you've worked and the struggles you've had. And that just goes for everybody listening as well. Nobody really knows who you are until you show them. And not tell them. And you've shown them through completing a program and being serious proof that our programs work. So thank you so much. And congratulations on all your success.
Thank you so much.
All right. So coaches, I'm very, very excited to have Emily on. It's just what an incredible success she had last year. And I want to share this affirmation, believe in yourself, because honestly, she had to believe that she could do it. She was going all in, and all in means all in. So for those of you starting the 3rd chapter in Transform 20, congratulations. Have an incredible week. And with that, I'll say bye-bye.